Yes, so this is where we're at. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. So we're here still talking about the common mistakes that most of us make when we are preparing our CVs and cover letter. Talked about using unprofessional email addresses and then poor formatting and layout. Those are some of the mistakes that we make because we don't we don't have the relevant information. We format it poorly. You find different fonts there and bold here, line there, and all that. And then you don't show motivation for the role that you're applying for. That's also a problem because the employers want to be able to see that at the end of the day, you are able to show motivation. And then also ignoring application instructions. Sometimes most of us, when when we when we send in our applications, we are not following the instructions. They tell you to send a PDF, you are sending a Word document or an image. They tell you put everything in one single document. You are attaching 10 files. So they tell you to apply before the deadline, you are applying after the deadline. So if you don't follow simple instructions, it is also a mistake because most of us lose opportunity because of these simple mistakes. Right. Now, when we are file naming our submissions, please ensure that you're able to name them correctly with your name. You can see what I've written here, like my name underscore CV HR assistant, you get. So you're able to see clearly the formatting and it looks neat. But most people, when they're sending in their documents, you see it is labeled as CV final or my new resume or my new CV or scanned. You get. Those are some very poor file naming, and when you're doing submissions, especially online, you should be able to avoid those. So please follow instructions exactly when you send. If they don't tell you what kind of format you should use when you're sending, please always change your documents into PDF and then submit them as PDF. But if they don't tell you, submit PDFs. If they tell you okay, submit in Word or any other format, then you go and do it as well. If they don't tell you, please ensure that they're always formatted in PDF. And use a short and professional email when you are sending submission. Don't just put your document and send. Yeah, don't send an email without a body. Some people, you tell them put a subject, the subject, indicate the subject you're applying for. You don't even write the subject, and then in the email you don't even write anything. You just put your two attachments and send. What does that mean? That you are a poor communicator. So please write a short email. It can be a salutation, greetings, hiring manager. Please find attached my submission for the position of this and that. I look forward to hearing from you. And somebody, when seeing this, they feel a bit motivated to even open your attachment. You get. Don't just attach two things and send. It's like to whom it may concern. Like I don't care. Like you get. That's the kind of impression you already created. You get. And don't attach everything. So if they tell you put a CV, put an application, attach your academic documents, passport, ID, attach whatever it's there. It's important. There's a reason they ask for it. If you leave out one, you've already eliminated yourself. You get. And by deadline means by deadline. So when they say COB Friday 5th, please ensure that you meet that deadline or apply before. So some people be like, they wanted to apply last so that the application is on top, so that the employer will see it when they apply. Or they want to apply first. They don't want to. There's nothing like that. When you're sending your application, just send. Don't say, oh, they will not look at it, they'll forget about it. Or should I send a hard copy? Should I? Whatever instruction that is there, please follow that. You get, and ensure that you're able to apply by the deadline. Yeah, and when writing any professional letter, cover letter, CV for this matter, ensure that you use appropriate font styles. There are so many font styles out there. I've put a couple of them that are used commonly for professional writings. That's Calibri, Arial, Ramon, Times New Roman, and Book Article. So you can use any of these when you are writing your document. Of course, font sizes for headings, you can use 12 to 14. Some people use up to 16, which is still okay as long as it looks neat. And then the body of the text should be between 10 to 12. And then spacing, of course, you use bullet points, and then line spacing. Sometimes people use mostly 1.5 or 1, sometimes 2. Some people specify, some don't. So that is still okay. And then you keep your paragraphs very short and maintain some consistent spacing. Don't space here at 1.5, the other time you're at 3, another time you're 2.5, and all. So ensure that everything is consistent. And then in terms of the margins, should be around 0.8 to 1 inches all around you get. So ensure that you have a clear structure in terms of your heading, consistent style throughout your document, no clutter, and prioritize readability for everything. Don't send anything that is not readable for you. Get a second opinion in terms of how your document is looking so that somebody is able to tell you if there are one or two things that you need to improve. Now, this is a format of a cover letter that is here. We talked about you having your name, which you can see here, your name, your email address, your phone number, and a date. You put it here. So you put then the hiring manager's name if you know it. If you don't know it, you can just put HR department or recruitment manager or anything that the employer tells you to do. Check out the application instruction for that. And then add the organization's name because they want to see that you're actually writing to them. And then you can put address or location. And then salutation you add. If you know their name, you put there, Mr., Mrs., so and so. If you don't know, put dear sir, dear madam, and all that. That can pass. And then we talked about you having an introduction. You can already see where you are highlighting the job title you get. Writing to express my interest in the position of, you mentioned the advertisement, the, the, the job that you're applying for. So with a strong background in key experience, you highlight. We've seen where that comes from, right? And proven strength in skills. All the skills they are relevant for the role. You highlight them. Yeah. I am confident in my ability to contribute meaningfully to, you mentioned the organization once more. And then in my previous role, now you talk about your previous experiences here, where you highlight what you've done in your experiences, how these experiences are helping strengthening your skills that are relevant for you to perform in the job, how this can directly align with the requirements of this role you get. And the motivation line is here. Why are you drawn to this organization you get? We talked about that. I admire your work in, I value this, the values of this organization aligns with my value as a person. I'm excited about the opportunity to you get. So that is your motivation, and that is what you're highlighting. And then you appreciate them, and then a call to action where you look forward to possibility of contributing, or you look forward to an invite to an interview, and all that and all that. And of course, you sign off with your name. So that's how a simple format of a cover letter looks like. So you fill in the details in bold with everything that we've talked about in terms of your experience and all that. Okay, so remember this as we are closing the session. Your CV is your marketing document, and your cover letter is your personal pitch. And tailoring will be able to increase your chances significantly, including you being listed for an interview. Use a lot of action vibes and also impact in terms of your achievement and numbers. Keep everything professional, clear, intentional, and readable. Proofread everything and ensure that there are no errors in your document. Build with intention, and every application matters. There. So we are exactly three. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We'll go back to the Q&A, and then I'll later tell you what your assignment is going to look like. Simon, if you're there, please over to you while I get some water that I can take. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brenda. Please let's give a round of applause with the emoji. It was really a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Brenda, for that presentation. I would just try to put some input across. Uh, these sessions like around four consecutive questions that almost are interconnected. So if you really miss one session, it will really affect you in another session of the other one. So I would really encourage you guys not to miss any of these sessions. Like this session also connected with the job advert analysis because that's what you will start. That's where you start after seeing the advert, and then you first have to analyze, and that will really help you to craft your email and also come on how also you tell your CV and cover later. So you see how these are interconnected and they're really helping. So I want to put some few things across concerning the cover later, and I'm going to be brief. And the CVs, I will just tackle some of the mistakes, the common mistakes that we do, and we already found our mistakes that we normally make when crafting or tailoring our CVs. She has talked really a lot, and I've also learned what my mistake that I used to do back in the days. I think one of the mistakes that I also heard from what she has said out already, we sometimes use unprofessional emails. I'm going to start. I think somebody even asked about the emails and Gmails. When we talk of unprofessional emails, sometimes it depends on how you name your email. Sometimes you nickname, you see. So the email name itself, you see, you nickname it. Maybe you use your nickname. So that's unprofessional. Okay, when you comes to somebody asked, I want to put that across. One of the fellow asked about email and Gmail. When you comes to email, it's a general. I can say it's a okay. It's actually an acronym. Okay, it means electronic mail. It's actually a method of sending messages electronically over the internet. Okay, so it can be sent and also received using any provider. Like for example, you have Gmail and Yahoo, Outlook, Zoho. Those are all emails, electronic mails. But now, like, let me give you an analogy. Like emails, it's just like a combination. Like let's say a car, but under the car we have like Toyota, you know, so that's what it means. When you come to Gmail, it's a example or a type of electronic mail that is provided by Gmail. So that's the difference. If you want to know about the email and Gmail. So Gmail is one of the providers, one of the electronic mail providers by Google, and the email it's electronic mail. It has many like Yahoo and Outlook. And Gmail. When you come to the other mistake that we make under under the CVs. Sometimes we write even too long, you see. And in that, but they might ask like you need to make like 1 to 2 pages. You find some of the people like can write around 3 pages. That's already what you're violating. See what the recruiters really want. So that's the mistake. And it should not be even too short. Sometimes it could be 1 page, 2 page at least. Like that's what most recruiters want. And also have some irrelevant information. We also include your stock of already some of them. Sometimes you will include hobbies. You know, you'll be like watching, you know, and religious material status, tribes. See? Those are the things sometimes we include. Those are irrelevant information. We don't have to include them. And sometimes we also face this. We don't even tell our CV. Like we find a job that's already you found, and then immediately you don't even go through your your CV again for you to tailor. You just have to use the same email, the old email you already used. Sometimes we lie and exaggerate some in the email. We include some of the skills and experiences that we don't even have. You see, but I can tell you that the recruiters can easily verify those things if you don't know, but they can really verify it. So you don't have to lie and exaggerate. We have to be, uh, specific, and you have to also uh, t- point out what you can do. You see? So it's really important. And sometimes we can also have like a clear career objectives, like avoiding. Sometimes you need to avoid a vague statement like looking for a challenging job to develop my skills. That's really a vague statement. You know, that's one of also mistake that I will put across, and also some missing action words. She has already talked about. I'm not going to tackle it again. Uh, on cover letters, I think it's just common mistake that we made too under it. Like uh, she talked of generic letters. Sometimes we write like to whom it may concern, and also putting some generic templates, analyzing each one of the reasons or the subjects that we put in our cover letters. And also we keep on repeating, like the same thing. Sometimes we do copy and paste. That's a mistake. Like in cover letter, you don't have to describe again or putting everything that you already crafted or tailored in the CV already. The CV itself will back up your cover letter. You don't have to repeat everything or maybe paste everything that you already written in your CV. And it should not also be too long. It should not be too long. Like at least can be half of 1 page, clear and focused and concise. Uh, so also one of the common mistakes, like I also realized, we have a weak conclusion on how we close our cover later. So it has to be strong, when closing the the cover later. Like we don't have to forget to thank them and also show some honestness. So with these things, I think I will just have to stop here, and maybe we'll have to give you time also to ask questions. And thank you for listening. We have learned. I'm also learning from my side. And I really hope this really helps. And let's keep on engaging and ask questions for us to learn. If there's anything that we don't understand, we all learn, and we should not feel shy to ask. We are here to listen. We are not here to judge. Let's all learn. Thank you so much. I can see we have 2 hands already up. Maybe we'll go by these 2 hands, and later, and you can also keep on sending in your question in the chat, or maybe put up your hand. As I can see, we already have 2 guys. I would go with lecture book. Lecture book followed by so lecture. You can start, unmute and talk.
Well, thank you so much, and the session was so amazing, and I really enjoy it. Thank you to the representative. So my question is like, when you want to write the cover letter, is it advisable to give it the title, or you just write it like that? That's what I just want to know. And between the cover letter and the CV, which one should you put first? Those are my two questions.
Okay. Okay, and you have the question.
So you write your cover letter first, because we said the cover letter is what is introducing you or introducing your motivation to the employer, and then it also encourages the employer to go and look at your CV. You get, so it's just like a glimpse. You give it a glimpse in terms of what they will find in your CV. You get, so you write the cover letter first, and you don't put a title. Just put the exact format that I've shown you. You don't put a title. Um, I'm going to stop. Somebody was saying up there. I'm going to stop as the live streaming, and then maybe I can share some documents of mine, right? Because I think we've covered everything that we need to cover. But that's just to answer your question. Maybe when we have time, I can show you some examples of from my own document.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. I think Tom will let. Then after you will be Ajit Tom. Tom, you can unmute. Yes. Tom, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
I said,
question is, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I said,
Okay. Yes, my question is based on on the cover letter. In cover letter, we already write the experience in a CV. Is it possible for us to add them there in the cover letter, or we supposed to be there alone?
So the experience, you've put details of the experience in your in your
CV.
CV, right? But when
Yes.
you are now writing your cover letter, you highlight. Okay, let me just stop live streaming because YouTube doesn't like the personal details. So I'm going to just show you some examples of